Hey, what's up? This is Morgan Page. Here in the studio, going to give you a little sneak peek behind the scenes of how I created Fight For You. This is the Pro Tools session, and I'm just going to go through real quick, give you a listen to the tracks, talk a little bit about the plugins used and the techniques for writing the song. So everything in blue here, everything's color-coded in their own little groups, and this is all the drums. So I'm going to go element by element through here. It's a few different kick drums, sine wave underneath, loop from Stylus, some more Stylus loops, some other elements to kind of move it around, some pink noise, and some more hi-hats and shakers and things. All this stuff's going through Waves Renaissance EQ, getting filtered. And also the stock plugins, some of the stock Digi plugins. Really like these SSL channels that Waves makes. Using those mainly just for a little bit of compression and EQ. And down here, there's sort of a hybrid of sounds, Moog bass, but also some live bass, done by Mike Dunlop. Great bassist. He did bass on White Shadows, that bootleg remix of Coldplay. But I really love the way these kind of gel together. It's got little slides, little intonations. And there's the keyboard, which is from the Prophet over here. Dave Smith Prophet. And there's two layers that kind of combine in an interesting way. They have a little bit of glide, some little effects on there. Not a lot of effects from the computer, just EQ, but mainly effects done on the keyboard itself. And just kind of winging it live, doing sort of live automation, but also doing a little bit of filtering, automating the filters in here. And then also there's a bunch of guitars done by Terry Grant, who also did guitars on The Longest Road. And those came out really good. They had a real nice organic kind of meshing sound between the two. There's a couple layers of acoustic guitar, a couple layers of electric guitar, and slide. Now you can see there's a lot of intricate work done with the vocals, tons of layers. There's the leads, the doubles, choruses, whisper takes, sort of different intensities of vocal layers, and a lot of processing, a lot of creative tuning. Elizabeth is a great singer, but I like to push the tuning extra hard on certain background vocals. You can see it's all pretty chopped up. And a lot of times I'll do that just to kind of chop up the hook. If I'm hearing certain melodies in my head, sometimes I'll throw it in Melodyne, but usually it's just I want to hear it manually in there. So that's what I did with it. Sort of the oohs are just all chopped up. So they kind of came out intentionally in a little bit of a choppy way. There's also some of the little doos and oohs in here that are, I think, processed with camel fat. Just a little background texture element. And everything's kind of getting bussed and compressed, so the guitars are there, instrumental bus, the bass is getting limited. Actually, the bass is just getting EQ'd. And the whole instrumental mix is getting sidechained by the kick, just to give it a little warmth and make it breathe a little bit. And let's see, there's also a little bit of, I use this plugin whenever I can, whenever it's needed. The Sonic Maximizer adds a nice little sparkle and rounds out the low end and sometimes can fix phase issues, but sometimes it's just too much. Vocals are going through the SSL channel again. little EQ, a little compression, some filtering. Going through another compressor, getting sidechained by the kick to kind of have a pulling effect, a little sparkle from the Sonic Maximizer, and a little de-essing in there. And then the whole bus is getting compressed with a Waves SSL. Other than that, pretty minor effects, just some outboard Lexicon reverb, and all the vocals were done with the Avalon. So that is bussed back in, and then there's echoes going through Echo Boy, some ping pong delays you can hear in the background, and what's the other one? Quarter note delay, just to add a little bit of space throughout. So I'm going to add all the layers in here. You can hear the delays there. And then everything's going through Ozone, which is a great plugin. Cascade turned me on to this one. Really good for just really squeezing out every ounce of sound, and kind of using it pretty aggressively on this track, since this is not the mastered version, but using it a little bit to widen things up, a little bit of limiting, no EQ going on, just sort of watching the levels there. Sometimes I throw in a little bit of harmonic excitement, and that's pretty much it. That's Fight for You, and we'll have a few more of these tutorials coming up.